And welcome to this class on number lines. So we already know what integers are. So I want to explore the concept of number line. All right. So number line basically is visual representation of integers. All right. A visual representation of integers. So I'm going to draw a number line here. Then you will understand what that actually means. All right, so we are having a straight line right here, okay? And so this straight line has to be continuous, and therefore we will draw an arrow at the end of each of the line to show the continuity, okay? To show the continuity. So that means that it continues to infinity to the right, also continues to infinity to the left. And right at the middle of that number, we are going to have a very special number which is going to help us construct a number line, and that is the number 0. Right? The number 0 is very pivotal when we talk of integers, as it acts as the reference point for positive and negative numbers. Remember, when you are defining integers, we said that other than being all numbers, they can either be positive or negative. Now, to the right of 0, we will have the positive numbers, and to the left of 0, we will have the negative number. So the immediate number after 0, of course, we expect to be 1, and therefore right after 0, we are going to have 1 here, and then we are going to have 2, and that is positive 1, that is positive 2. We are going to have 3, which is positive 3, and then 4, and we can continue and on up to infinity. We cannot really complete them. All numbers extend, or positive integers extend on to up to infinity. All right, so we can count them all day or all week, all year. All right, so on to the left of the number line, though, we have negative numbers. All right, so on to the left of our 0, we will have negative 1, and then we will have negative 2 right there. All right, then followed by negative 3, and we can actually continue. Of course, this is going to be negative 4. We can actually continue on and on and on to infinity, of course, talking about negative numbers. All right, so one thing I wanted to help you understand is how to construct a number line, and so that is how we construct a number line. Then another thing I want to emphasize about number lines is that when we speak of positive numbers, okay, those are the numbers to the right of 0, all right? They increase in value as you ascend to the right. That means, therefore, that when we speak of 1, 1 is always going to be greater than 0, okay? 1 will be greater than 0. When we speak of, let's say, 2, 2 will be greater than 1, all right? So as you go to the right, the value of the numbers on the positive side of the number line become greater, all right, than the ones that are on the left, of course, up to 0. All right, and then when we speak of negative numbers, the numbers, instead of increasing in value, they actually decrease in value, okay? That is to mean that 0 is greater than negative 1, okay, when we compare them in terms of value. And also that also means that negative 2 is greater than negative 1, and also is lesser than negative 1, and also lesser than 0. All right, so 0 is greater than negative 1, 0 is greater than negative 2, 0 is greater than negative 3, and also we can also say that negative 1 is lesser than 0. All right, negative 2 is lesser than 1. So basically, as you move to the left as you move to the left of the number line, of course, from 0 for the negative numbers, instead of the value of numbers increasing, they actually decrease in value. That is what it means, of course, in terms of value when you look at the number line. So I want us to actually use this number line that I've drawn here to represent a sum of two numbers, which is very easy. So I want us to represent 4 plus 6. All right, 4 plus 6. We already know that 4 plus 6 is going to be 10. This is very basic. All of us know this. However, if you are told to construct this or to show how 4 plus 6 equals to 10 in a number line, are you able to do that? So I'm going to first of all draw a number line, all right? Right here. Okay. So this is the number line that I'm going to draw. All right. And then right here, I'm going to have 0. Right there, I'm going to have 0. So I'm going to have 1 afterwards. Then I'm going to have 2. Then I'm going to have, all right, 3. And I'm going to have 4 and 5. Going on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I can continue up to infinity. Of course, we expect that the numbers that are to the left of 0 will be negative numbers, but in this particular case, we are more concerned about representing the sum of 4 plus 6 in the number line. All right, so then we will go and find where 4 is in the number line right here. Okay, and we will draw a dot. We will draw a dot right in that particular juncture. And then what we will do, anytime you are adding numbers in the number line, all right, always move to the right. So adding numbers simply means that you're moving to the right. So we are going to move to the right 6 times. All right, so we're going to start at 4 and we're going to move to the right of 4 6 times, and the number that we will end up having is what is going to indicate the sum of 4 plus 6. So I'm going to move, that is the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now that is 6. And then right at 6, I'm going to draw an arrow, and you can already see that the number right there is 10. All right, the number right there is 10, and therefore that is how we represent the sum of 4 plus 6 in the number line. All right, so for the second example, I'm going to show how to add a negative and a positive number. That is negative 6. All right, negative 6. Let me show this, negative 6. So this is our first one. Then for the second one, I'm having negative 6 plus 4, negative 6 plus 4. If I was to show this in the number line, how would it look like? All right, so I'm going to first of all draw the number line as I already said earlier on. All right, that's the first thing you always want to do. All right, that's the first thing you always want to do. Then I want to draw the numbers such that I have negative 6 in place. All right, so I'm going to start somewhere around here. Okay, 0, and then to the left of 0 we have negative numbers. So it's going to be negative 1, it's going to be negative 2, all right, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, and of course we can continue. Of course, to the right we're having the positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can continue and on and on and on. All right, so we are going to come to where we are having negative 6 in the number line, all right there, and we are going to draw a dot. Okay, then we are going to move 4 steps. Okay, 4 steps to the right. Anytime you're adding, it means that you move to the right. We're going to move 4 steps to the right and see what we get. So we're going to move the first step, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and right there at 4 we're going to draw our arrow. So the number that is below is what is actually going to be the sum of negative 6 and 4. All right, so negative 6 plus 4 simply means that we get negative 2. All right, and so that is how we add in the number line. So for the next example, I'm going to show how to subtract, of course, and how to show that, of course, in the number line. Awesome. So for our second example, we are having the number 3 minus 6. 3 minus 6. Some of us may not be able to do this off-head. All right, some of us are able. All right, but I want us to use the number line to see what we get when we take 3 minus 6. All right, so we are going to draw our number line right here again. Of course, then we are going to construct our positive and negative numbers. So this is negative 1, this has negative 3, negative 2, negative 3. So to the right of 0, we are having 1, we are having 2, we are having 3, we are having 4, we are having 5, we are having 6, we're having 7, and we can actually go on and on having numbers, of course, in the integer. And remember, that is why we have the arrows on the left and the right end of this number line to show that there is continuity. Okay, so we are going to then find out where we are having 3, and right where we have 3, we're going to draw a big dot, all right, a filled in dot. And then, of course, the fact that we are subtracting means that we are supposed to move to the left. Remember, when you are adding, we were moving to the right. However, when subtracting, we move to the left. So we're going to move to where we are having 3 and move 6 steps to the left. Okay, we're going to move to where we have 3 and move 6 steps to the left in the number line. And whatever we find is what's going to be our answer when we take 3 minus 6. And so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this number, of course, then we're going to draw an arrow right there. All right, so this number here, that is negative 3, is what we will get when we take 3 minus 6. Therefore, it means that 3 minus 6 is actually negative 3. So note that whenever you're subtracting, you are moving to the left. So for our second example, we are having negative 2, all right, minus 5. Negative 2 minus 5. Again, we are going to draw our number line right to aid us with this. Okay, so we are going to have it right there. And just here, we're going to have 0, all right, 1, 2, 3. Then here we're going to have 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Of course, we can always keep counting the negative numbers. All right, so for the sake of time and saving on space, we then draw our number line, of course, up to the level that we can, as long as we are able to show how we have worked out our problem. So we are then going to where we are having negative 2, and we will draw a dot right there, a filled in dot. And then we are going to move 5 steps to the left. Remember, negative means that you move to the left. So we're going to move 5 steps to the left, and whatever number we're going to find below that is what will be our answer. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So this number here, negative 7, is what will be our answer. So when you take negative 2 minus 5, we expect that you're going to get negative 7, as I have shown here. So that is it for this particular class. For any more questions, maybe you can drop a comment section below in the comment box. Then I'll be able to reach back to you. So for our next class, we are going to handle multiplication and division of integers. All right. Thank you and have a wonderful day.